They say everything is bigger. These guys down in Texas aren't messing around. This feature race will separate the boys from the men, the girls from the ladies. Can you handle racing 300 laps for $25,000? It's not as easy as you think. We don't stop to tow those too weak. We just push them out of the way. We don't run 20 laps. We run 300 each night. We don't care about what you and your boys have under the hood. Bring all you got. Don't be scared. Call my Cowboy Jack today to get signed up. It all goes down on October 2nd and 3rd in Mesquite, Texas, just outside of Dallas. Kenny Wallace is coming back this year to try again. You don't have excuses. Go to LoneStar600.com now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lernerville Speedway. Tonight we have a great race for you. All Texas drivers signed in and ready to race. And of course, I'm not the voice you're here to listen to, as we are just doing some introductions here. We have a couple of announcers that will take over here momentarily. One of those going to be Rodney Rodriguez. So we're going to hand it down to him, and here shortly you'll hear a few more familiar faces. So let's stay tuned for that. And Rodney, we're going to hand it to you down in the booth.
Charles, we do welcome you to Lernersville Speedway, the famed Lernersville Speedway, as we are in a group effort tonight. Facebook Live on the LSRTV page, along with Race on Texas on the Facebook page there as well, as we get set for the Cooped Up 50, presented by 36J Motorsports and Justin Whitehead. And of course, why is this called the Cooped Up 50? Well, we're in the midst of a pandemic right about now. Nobody can get out. You're supposed to stay bunkered at home, so that's exactly what we're going to do here this evening, and we are going to join 57 top flight sim racers, real world drivers from Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, the Arklatex region. They're ready to set the pedal loud to the floor, and we're going to get after it here in just a few minutes, as these racers will get after it, and we're going to follow along lap by lap with you here tonight. A great way to spend your Saturday night. Again, we wish all of you and yours just nothing but the best as you're making your way through this pandemic. And we do also remind you, please do what local, federal authorities are telling you to do. We're all in this fight together, so please do that. Please abide by those rules. Don't get yourself in trouble. We don't need any of that to happen to you. We're going to get set up, and we're doing the Cooped Up 50. It's going to be a fun time, presented by Justin Whitehead, and we have it all for you right here on the LSRTV page, along with Race on Texas and on the Facebook page. So the format tonight, we'll qualify them, then we've got heat races, and then we'll go to main event action. That is coming up here tonight, and we'll have it lap by lap. It's going to be a super cool night and a great way to spend your Saturday night. Let's take a look at qualifying and some contingencies in this, just like any other race. I mean, this is a simulated race, but there's contingencies. Here we go. $10 to the fastest time, and that is from JT Turner. The fifth fastest time will receive an iRacing wrap from CJ Howell, along with Howell Graphics, as all of that is part of that tonight. And then coming up in the C-Main, should there be a C-Main tonight, Josh Martin with hashtag Bodies by 88M's sponsored $10 to the winner of that C-Main. So if you win, there is a C-Main. The winner of the C-Main will take home $10 tonight. Donna Whitehead sponsored $10 to the second place runner in the C-Main. Maverick Designs, Chase Rasmussen sponsored $15 to the first car not making it out of the C-Main. So that would be the first one that does not make it. A little bit of money to that one as well. In the heat races tonight, each winner will receive $10 from Betty McNeil with McNeil Motorsports. In the B-Main, Josh Martin with hashtag Bodies by 88M sponsored $10 to the winner of the B-Main. Daniel Fireworks, $25 to the winner. Custom Coatings and Fabrications, $20 to the winner. Donna Whitehead sponsored $10 to second place. Cody Tarrant, $10 to 7th and 8th place. Patriot Racing has sponsored $40 to the first car not making it out of the B main. So there you go, and that is how that has worked at this point. Into the A main. Let's take a look at that A main tonight. Lap number 5, $20. Derek Cates from Carroll Baskins, lap number 27, $25 from Bulletproof Tees, and then at lap 39, $39 in memory of Jamie Lowe. All of that in the A main, so added incentives tonight. That is how it will work out. We're going to take a quick break and come back. This is the Cooped Up 50.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything, hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you can just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing. And if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you just race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Back to the Cooped Up 50 as we are at Lernerville Speedway getting set for a big Saturday night of racing. And we have it right here for you. It's going to be a fun night as we, depending what part of the country you are at. I know I am in central Texas, just north of Austin, and we've been dealing with a little bit of rain, a little cool outside, so hopefully it is great weather wherever you may be. We're getting set for heat race action as we will get set to roll the cars out on the track to qualify for the Cooped Up 50 presented by Justin Whitehead. That is coming up here in just a few minutes as we have your Saturday night racing. Can't do it on track, but we are doing it here online with iRacing. We've got cars on the track right now. We've had cars on the track this afternoon. Track prep has been going on, and here we are with cars back out once again. Again, the Cooped Up 50, Lernerville Speedway. And we have a great field of drivers from all around the area, from all around the Arklatex area, as they are set to go tonight here on the LSRTV page, along with the Race On Texas Facebook page, Facebook Live. So hopefully there will be lots of eyeballs on this race event coming up here tonight from Lernerville Speedway. Quarter-mile track, clay oval, and it will make for some great side-by-side racing that we will present to you here tonight. The practice times, cars out on the track as we get set for that heat or for qualifying heat race competition coming up. Fast time up on the board right now, Colby Collins with an 18.671. That is the fast time in this session right now. Taylor Frost at an 18.680. Clay Atwood with an 18.700. That's your top three as we run right now. Making their way around the speedway. Lernerville Speedway. See them up at the top of the racetrack. Making their way around. Practice happening here. We've been practicing for about 30 minutes as we get set to set this one a sail. And it looks like we are heading to qualifying as we get set for the Cooped Up 50. And we get set. First car on the track, car number 35. Oh, a little trouble up at the top of the hill and slides around. Able to get it rolling once again. As you see on the racetrack, car number 24 diving down to the bottom. Now the 88 car out of corner number 4. Nice distance there away from the guardrail. Now diving into turn number 1. There's a 24 car once again. Out of corner number 4, that's Miles Keeney. The 03 Colby Collins, that's been a fast car all afternoon. Collins 18.763 on the time, but the fast time it looked like it is Colby Mewborn at this point with an 18.730. 18730 is the time to beat here in qualifying. Set the field for our heat races here in the Cooped Up 50. A little trouble there for the 107 now. Well, and they're all chasing Mewborn in the 13. 18.730 is the time to beat. Collins currently sits in second. Around turn number 2, this is the 54. This is Matthew Day. Day on the back straightaway. You qualified in 18.885. 18.885 for Matthew Day. Here's Jared Maupin in the 107. Maupin in the 107. Into corner number 3. This is car number 18, Jeremy Thornton. Thornton an 18.968. 18.968 the time of record. Johnny Torres up at the top of the qualifying now with an 18.654. So just over 18 and a half seconds here around this clay oval. It is number 66, Johnny Torres, as he's gone to the top. Here's Corey Whitworth. Whitworth in car number 69, 18.743. It's an 18.743. That currently puts him 4th on the pylon. A little bit of a slide there to end that one. So they're all chasing Johnny Torres. Torres with the fast time as Dylan Glass. Glass in the orange car number 42 on the back straightaway into turn number 3. Current time is a 19.376. 19376. Here's Glass as he makes his way back into turn number 1. So Glass not able to chase down Johnny Torres. Torres with that fast time continuing to hold on with an 18.654. Here's car number 15, Robert Burks. Burks on the racetrack in his blue and white Chevrolet Camaro out of corner number 4 past the start finish line. 18.959. 18.959 the time for Burks in car number 15. So it looks like at the top of the pylon for qualifying tonight at this point. Looks like qualifying has concluded. It'll be Johnny Torres, the fast time with an 18.654. Torres with an 18.654. And it looks like we will roll on. More qualifying, still more cars as we have over 50. Here's Brandon Blaylock. Blaylock in car number 9, the campaigner out of Pflugerville, Texas. Right here out my way. Here is Blaylock out of turn number 4. Past the start-finish line. Blaylock. Laying down an 18.970. 18.970 for Brandon Blaylock in his Chevrolet Camaro. Here's we work the Cooped Up 50 on Saturday night. Blaylock 19.076, 19076, the qualifying time for Blaylock. That's well off of the mark set by Johnny Torres. They're chasing 18.654. 18.654 is what they're chasing from Johnny Torres. Here's Blaylock out of corner number 4 one more time. Blaylock will flash through, does get into the 18s. Lots of 8s in this number, 18.888. 18.888 that time around for Brandon Blaylock in car number 9. So it is Johnny Torres at the top of the heap. And as we get set, we will bring in another one of our announcers. Could have up to 3 tonight. Let's welcome in Nick Robbins. Nick, how are you, man?
Oh, Rodney, I am fantastic. Absolutely a pleasure to be here calling a race with you this evening. The Cooped Up 50 brought to you tonight by Justin Whitehead. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that in this strange time that we're going through right now, it's a little weird to be gathered around the old cell phone or computer or whatever you're watching us on to watch some guys play a video game tonight. But hey, this is the best we can do for you, the absolute closest we can get. And Rodney, I don't know how much experience you've got with the sim here, but I can guarantee you this is going to be some good racing tonight for heat race number 1.
Absolutely. First rodeo here tonight, Nick. It is a pleasure to be doing that with you. And the beautiful thing about this, Nick, I was actually doing something a little earlier. I called a sim race that was actually on TV, the IndyCar race. No other sport is going to get as close to the real thing as what we're doing right here this evening.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, Rodney, and I really think it's really cool that we've got some guys on the racetrack that we've probably both called races before. I know that I certainly have called many of these guys in an actual race on the actual racetrack. It's really cool to see everybody come together and just give us all a shot at some sort of normalcy this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A little bit of a getaway from everything that's happening, and I said it earlier in the broadcast, and I'm sure that you'll feel the same when they tell folks to be abiding by whatever the counties and the cities and all this. Let's just follow the rules, but for now, let's have fun with the Cooped Up 50.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we are set to do this evening. We have got a racetrack full of cars here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I saw well over 50 of them on the racetrack this evening. Right now, we are set to go with heat race number 1, and rolling off on the pole, it's the 66 of Johnny Torres. To his outside, the 03 is going to be Colby Collins.
Absolutely. Next up, go ahead, Nick. You go ahead and get the lineup. I'm actually working on a different lineup system, so you'll probably have the lineups better than I will this evening.
So looks like row number 2 on the inside should be the 2 machine of C.J. Howell next to the 02 of Danny Rogers. We'll work not to get those guys confused. Row number 3 on the inside should be the 49 of Jeremy Thornton. And looks like, the 18 of Jeremy Thornton. The 49 is Jacob Lassiter. The next row back going to be the 15 of Robert Burks and the 77 of Jared Husinga. And then we're going to have Philip Seals and Dylan Glass, Jason Beasley out there on the racetrack as well. 11 cars. The green flag drops and we are underway. And right now it's going to be Johnny Torres leading the field into turn number 1. Second spot going to be Colby Collins down the backstretch into turn number 3. Right, and we come around to complete lap number 1.
Absolutely, here they come. They are side by side. Johnny Torres will take them past the start-finish line to lead lap number 1. Collins holding on in second. C.J. Howell rides there in third. Let's watch them make their way out of turn number 2. Danny Rogers down on the inside. They race side by side down the back straightaway. They are stacked 2 by 2. Good push by Howell into turn number 3. We've got 2 laps complete.
Nearly 3 rows deep of 2 wide action already down the front straightaway. Once again, 2 laps in the books. Like you said, working lap number 3 right now. You're leader still Johnny Torres. The best battle I'm watching, though, the one for that third spot. Give that third spot to Howell right now. Danny Rogers on the inside got his hands full with the 18 of Jeremy Thornton. Thornton on the outside got a good run down the front stretch. Into the wall a little bit. Rodney's still going to take over that fourth spot.
That will be the hot spot on the racetrack right there. Is Thornton down on the inside, tries to make the move on Howell. Now he's got trouble down, or not trouble, he's got company down on the inside as Danny Rogers is right there, side by side out of corner number 4. Thornton up on the outside, Rogers down on the bottom. Here they are. They touch out of turn number 4. Past the start finish line one more time, Nick.
Danny Rogers trying to make it work on the bottom, Rodney. It looks like the middle to the high side really good right now around Lernerville Speedway. They're going to touch down the back straightaway. That's Thornton and Rogers getting together, and all this beating and banging has let the 51 machine come up into the group. I believe that's going to be Jacob Lassiter is getting into the mix as well.
He is there, and that does continue to be the hot spot on the racetrack up at the front. Johnny Torres just continues to motor on, but look at this battle right here happening behind him. There's Dylan Glass as he tries to take a peek down on the bottom there. Lassiter up at the top of the racetrack, cranking it down to the bottom is Glass. He'll try to make the pass there. Trouble up across the top. There is the 18 of Jeremy Thornton. All kinds of contact. The 42 of Glass with a lot of damage to the front.
Yeah, we wanted up about 4 or 5 of them right there, Rodney. It looked like the I believe that was, who was that got in the wall? That was the 18.
Yeah, that was the 18.
The wall, yeah, getting up on the wall, just jumping that curb there off a turn, or the cushion off of turn number 4. Wasn't anything you could do after that. With these street stocks, man, you get a lot of close pack racing. It's almost like watching a restrictor plate race. And as I say that, we've got the top 4 out here pretty much strung out across the racetrack. But Johnny Torres still showing the way here in heat race number 1, but some wild racing going on behind him.
These last 2 laps have been haywire as we've watched cars bouncing off the wall, bouncing off of each other. That has allowed Torres and Collins along with CJ Howell. Now we've got cars up sideways all over the racetrack there as we finish that one off. Johnny Torres wins heat race number 1.
Great job to Johnny there in heat race number 1, getting it done. Looks like the top 3 going to transfer to the feature directly from the heat races, ladies and gentlemen. So big shout out to Johnny Torres grabbing the win early here in heat race number 1. We also want to give a big shout out to Charlie Tubbs Milner at Milner Media and Design. There's a lot of raps out here on the racetrack that have probably had his talent behind them. So big shout out to Tubbs. Dirt Track Junkies, of course, also one of his brands. So great job tonight to Charlie. Rodney, we are rolling on here with heat race number 2, and on the inside it's going to be the 13 of Colby Mewborn, and next door to him going to be the 53 of Topper Dugas. Row number 2 on the inside, the 44 is going to be Shelby Hinton, and Ryan Harris will be to the outside in the 199. Third row back going to have Daniel Seals and Matthew Day. Going to be backwards. Matthew Day on the inside, Seals on the outside. And row number 4, the 26 will be Wyatt Wagoner, and the 3 will be Kevin DuPont. Row number 5, the 74 going to be Josh Milliken, and the 189 will be Justin McNeil. And rounding out the field of 11, the 37 will be Gary Smitherman. 11 cars, 8 laps the distance. Rodney, what are you thinking about this iRacing filling the void here in the gap of real world racing?
I'll tell you what, Nick, if we have to have something, I was talking earlier, I played NASCAR 98. This is nothing like that. This is real world. This is as good as it's going to get. It's been a while for me, Nick. Here they come. Heat race was good. Let's go heat race number 2.
Heat race number 2, ladies and gentlemen, going to roll off at turn number 4, and right off the bat, it is the 36. I believe that is going to be Colby Mewborn taking the top spot. We are 3 wide already off of turn number 2 with the 53 of Topper Dugas. The 44 there is not Smitherman. We've got the 44 machine. That's Shelby Hinton, and the 54 of Matt Day as well. Rodney, this is some fantastic racing already.
Absolutely. What a lap number 1, and you still have that cluster of cars running all together. Dugas, Hinton, and now Harris into the mix. Up over the hill goes Harris, but he gathers it back in. Going to jump down to the inside of the 54 of Day, or at least try to, as they work out of turn number 4. Mewborn will lead lap number 2.
I got to tell you what, Rodney, that was a heck of a save by the 199. 199 of Harris to go 4 wheels over the dump down the back straightaway after a little contact there with Day. A great save by the driver of the 199. We are already completing lap number 3 down, 5 to go.
And here is Harris once again up to the back bumper of Day in the 54. Now looking up to the top side is Day in the 54 as he'll try to make the pass. Goes up the hill just a little bit there as Hinton kind of creeps up a little bit. And now coming to the inside, here's the 199. It was a great save a couple of laps ago. And now he'll try to make the crossover move. They will go 3 wide out of turn number 4. They touch Nick. Here they are at the start-finish line. It's Hinton in the 44.
Man, this group of 3-4 cars right here, Rodney, they're letting the leaders walk away from them, but I tell you what, they are fighting hard, tooth and nail for this third and final transfer spot. Give the nod right now to Hinton on the bottom of turns 3 and 4, gonna slide up, grabs the nose of the 199. Oh boy, we got some slicing and dicing, some beating and banging going on, man. This is good.
Absolutely, and knock on the door. It's Wyatt Wagner in the 26. He has worked his way into this battle. Now he's on the inside. He'll try to take a peek there on Harris in the 199, but coming back at him, here's Matthew Day right back at the quarter panel. They'll race side by side, or almost side by side, almost up on the wall. Again, a big shot, the 189, Justin McNeil and Nick. They continue to battle this one out. What action we're seeing here?
The hard charger right now, unfortunately, is a few spots out as we're working lap number 7 right now. That hard charger is Justin McNeil. He's up 3 spots from the drop of the green flag, but we are unfortunately working lap number 8 right now. So unless something happens, McNeil going to be on the outside looking in.
Absolutely. It has been Mewborn since the drop of the green. He has gone wire to wire. Car number 13, a battle once again to 54 of Day down to the bottom. He and Wagner continue to wage this battle with Mewborn up in the front.
That is going to do it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Colby Mewborn, going to get the win in that 36 machine. A great job by the young racer. Led it from the drop of the green. Topper Dugas and Shelby Hinton going to be your final 3 transfer positions. We will roll on straight into heat race number 3. An unbelievable amount of cars here tonight, Rodney. Absolutely phenomenal turnout for the race here this evening.
Lots of cars trying to work their way into the Cooped Up 50. What a perfect name for everything that we're going through. But action, Nick, that we have watched in these 2 heat races, you've had 3 wide, you've had guys bouncing off of each other. This is what it's all about right here. And like we said, this is as real as you're going to get watching this action here tonight on iRacing.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that this class that we've chosen, the Dirt Street Stock here, and
absolutely,
at least the iRacing simulator, these are the cars, man, just like in the real world, these big old body street stock cars, they can take a hit, they can keep on racing. These guys are going to rub, they're going to beat, they're going to bang, they're going to use each other up this evening, but it is going to be some absolutely phenomenal racing here with heat race number 3 on the inside of the front row, Rodney. We've got the 142 of Taylor Frost. His outside could be the 7. That Taco Bell scheme, I love it. With Henry Smith behind the wheel. Wes Wygard, the 188, going to be on the inside of row number 2, next door to the 4 of Eddie Underwood. Row 3 going to have the 21 of Daniel Worthington, the 96 of Trey Smitherman. Row number 4, the 28, of Colby Lishman, and the 22 of Cody Boatwright. Row number 5 is going to have the 43 of Brandon Hightower and the 515 of Trent Humphrey. And rounding out the field here in heat race number 3, the 41 going to be Jacob Bailey. I believe the pace truck's set to pull off this time. Rodney, take us away to the green flag.
Absolutely. Here they come down. Frost on the pole as we get set. Heat race number 3, the first 2 have been phenomenal. Out of turn number 4, the field on the gas. They stomp it hard. Green flag. Here we go racing heat race number 3, working towards the Cooped Up 50. On the brake, it is Frost in the 142. Here comes Henry Smith in that Taco Bell livery, but down on the inside, it's Wygon in the 188 into turn number 3. Up at the top, it is Underwood in the 4. It is Taylor Frost leading lap number 1, Nick, and heat race number 3.
I just don't think the bottom is quite. Oh, we've got contact between Wygard and the. Wow, we're just going to wad him up. That was a 4 machine as well of Eddie Underwood. I don't know if we're going to get a yellow. I think we're just going to roll with it. I don't think yellows happen here in the heat races, so we're just going to keep it rolling. KT running things. KT King, of course, adminning this for us behind the scenes, and we're still rolling though with the 142 Taylor Frost out front, and Henry Smith blowing and going right there in the 7 machine.
Boy, and Nick, that was all kinds of contact right there as that car got turned around, but we do keep going. It's Taylor Frost up at the front of the pack, Smith there in second. That is how they run 1-2. There's a 188 of Wygon. He's got Smitherman right there on the back bumper as they head towards the back straightaway. Hightower rounds out the top 5 in car number 43. Now taking a peek down to the bottom. Here's the 96. Smitherman will try to make the move out of turn number 4, but it will be the 96 holding on as they reach turn number 1.
That was a good move right there out of Trey Smitherman. Some good car control to look down to the inside through the middle and able to not scrub off so much speed. You know, Rodney, the name of the game here in these street stock cars is keep up the momentum. They're the slowest car on the dirt surface, and you've really got to keep them wound up tight. You've really got to drive them as straight as possible, and if you're going to throw a slider, you got to know that it's going to stick, because you're going to kill the momentum coming up the racetrack, and you know that that driver right behind you is hungry for your spot.
Yeah, Nick, and that is the beauty about this class. It puts it in the driver's hands, and that's what we are watching right here as these guys wheel these big, heavy machines here around Lernerville Speedway, but it continues to be Frost. As this race, Nick, a lot tamer than what we've seen. It started out a little crazy, but now we've gone to some single-file racing.
Yeah, we've had some drivers settle down a little bit. You saw there on the initial start, some of those drivers trying to make their way towards the top of the racetrack. I think some of these drivers that maybe a little bit more experience in the sim, as we are watching that hot and heavy battle on the last lap for the third and final transfer spot, Rodney. It's Wygon right now with the transfer. Here comes Smitherman, though, a last lap slider.
Whoa.
And it is going to be Trey Smitherman who takes the third and final transfer spot.
What a way to transfer into the cooped up 50 with that big move right there. Smitherman, he just takes it into his own hands, Nick, and wrestles that spot away on his own. In the driver's hands, that's what it's all about.
That was absolutely phenomenal racing there in Heat Race 3, ladies and gentlemen. Congrats to Smitherman on grabbing that third and final transfer spot, and Frost on the win. A great race, Rodney. We've seen some guys, right, they break away on the start, they stay out front, and there's really no looking back.
Exactly. That's what we've been watching, and we get set. We get set for another one. Boy, Nick, this main event tonight is going to be something to watch. Again, yeah, we're not at the real racetrack, but I'll tell you what, this makes it feel like we're at the racetrack.
Oh, absolutely, Rodney. No doubt about that. And ladies and gentlemen, this heat race number 4 right here is about to be stacked. You got Corey Whitworth on the inside of the front row there in the 69 machine. To his outside, the 47, going to be Tyler Butler. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's a Days of Thunder tribute scheme there on the outside of the front row, and I kind of dig that.
Yeah, that's a sharp looking ride right there. You gotta like that.
Now you want to talk about some heavy hitters on the inside of row number 2, the 20 machine, Ricky Thornton Jr. And yeah, that Ricky Thornton Jr. on the inside of row number 2. Travis Montgomery going to be to the outside. Brandon Blaylock, I tell you what, he raced with us a couple of weeks ago in one of these first sim races we did here with on Race on Texas and LSRTV, and that was a man on the move. He started dead last in the street stock race, Rodney, ended up runner-up come the end of the feature. So watch that number 9 machine from Pflugerville. Michael King Jr.
Nice.
going to be along on the outside. Row number 4 has got Dylan Robinson and the man himself, Justin Whitehead, promoter here in the Cooped Up 50, going to be on the outside of row number 4. Let's see, we've got Andrew Fessenden going to be on row number 5, along with Josh Carter and Brandon Ball rounding up the 11-car field. Rodney, we're under green.
Stacked field, here we go, racing into turn number 1. It is Whitworth from that pole position up on the top shelf, trying to make it down the back straightaway. The top shelf has been the way to go here tonight. Let's see if that continues here in heat race number 4. Whitworth in the 69, riding second there is Ricky Thornton. Ricky Thornton Jr. is there. Blaylock down on the inside as they battle behind the leaders.
You gotta watch the 9 machine out of Pflugerville. That man is gonna be on the move for sure. Like I said, from 20th to 2nd a couple of weeks ago at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway with the South Texas group, we had a race going on, and Brandon Blaylock put on a show for sure. He's charging to the front. He's one spot out of a transfer, but the driver in front of him, Rodney, is the 20 machine, Ricky Thornton Jr. behind the wheel. Blaylock got his work cut out for him.
Absolutely. That's going to be a tough pass right there for Brandon Blaylock. Travis Montgomery, Michael King, there in the 14 as they race behind Blaylock. A good battle waging right there as Corey Whitworth holds on to that top spot. Here is Montgomery in the 45. He rides in 5th. Again, remember, got to get to the top 3. Top 3 transfer out of these heat races.
Yeah, that was a good 3-car battle there for 5th, 6th, and 7th on the racetrack. Another one of those dirt track junkie Milner Media designed wraps running in the 5th spot right now. And another one leading this race with Corey Whitworth behind the wheel of the 30 machine. We're looking at Justin Whitehead right now. He's trying to make his way through the field. Right now, Rodney mired in about the 8th spot. So Whitehead going to be running alphabet soup tonight if things don't change.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get to the inside there. Robinson in the 46. He does make the move there coming out of turn number 4. Robinson creeps up the hill, so able to make the pass right there, but still well out of the transfer spot all the way back in that 7th position as they make their way onto the back straightaway. 3 wide battle back there behind him down on the inside. The 17 trying to hang on. Oh, Nick. Oh, my goodness. Does not get any better with that. Here's the field out of turn 4.
Absolutely not. That is what it's all about right there. Brandon Ball getting a little crossed up, makes some contact there with the 00 of Andrew Fessenden, but those guys well back in the back of the pack right now. I tell you what, the top 3, or the top 2 now are where they started. Brandon Blaylock and Ricky Thornton got a great show going on right now. I'm watching the live timing screen here. They're going back and forth and back and forth. We've got a battle shaping up for the top spot. Rodney, we are working the last lap right here. This is it. The battle for 3rd raging coming into turn number 3. This one's going to decide who goes on to the feature.
Absolutely. Transfer position on the line right here. It is Thornton in the 20. He will hold on to that 3rd spot as they flash across the line. What a heat race.
What a run for Brandon Blaylock. I tell you what, there wasn't a whole lot of passing on the racetrack, but the racing was so close together, such close quarters action. That, to me, what it's all about right there, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to roll off and roll on in here to heat race number 5. This will be the final heat race, 5 out of 5 here, Rodney, and then we are going to roll right on in to this alphabet soup. We've got a D main, a C main, a B main, and then a 50-lap main event coming up, the Cooped Up 50 coming at you. And on the pole, Rodney, right now, in that 311 machine, the winner of our street stock race a couple of weeks ago, Justin Holt, in the 311 car.
There is Holt. He will be in that top spot as the field makes their way around.
On the outside of the front row, it's going to be the 115 of Coy Pennington to the inside of row number 2 and 15J. That's going to be Kevin McNatt. Well, the 107 on the outside will be Jared Moppin. Row number 3, here's the name some of you, I'm sure, watching, know this name. It's Cale Westover driving the 35 machine, the 15W machine on the inside of row number 3. The 24 to the outside is going to be Miles Keeney. And then row number 4, you got Clay Atwood and Jason Wilkie in the 111 and 39 respectively. Jonathan Capps and Billy Capps going to make up row number 5 in the 5 and 32. And then rounding out the field in the 52, that is going to be Chad Herring. Rodney, we're getting ready to take the green flag here. Heat race number 5. 3 more of them going to go on straight to the big dance. The rest of them going to have to run some alphabet soup. Here we come to the green flag.
Absolutely. Heat race number 5. Here they come. It is Holt on the point. Green flag. We are underway with heat race number 5. Top 3 make it in to the Cooped Up 50. A little sideways action there coming out of turn number 4, but all good there. Holt onto the back straightaway. Pennington rides in second. McNatt and Moppin. That is how they ride down the back straightaway. Down to the inside, there's Westover in the 35, the orange Camaro up to the top. A little nudge there. Out of turn number 1, it is Holt, your leader in lap number 1.
Holt gonna lead lap number 1. Second spot, Pennington gonna throw a slider right there in turns 1 and 2. Rodney drives it right up through the middle, a little bit of contact, and it's gonna be side by side, wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Pennington gonna do another slide job, slides up the racetrack. Here comes Holt with the crossover though. They're wheel to wheel down the front stretch into 1.
Oh goodness, what a first lap we see right there. Making their way around. It's still Pennington trying to hold on way up at the top. It's McNatt, or pardon me, it's the 115 of Pennington there. There is the 88 of McNatt here down Taking a peek down to the inside, Jared Moppin in the 107. Boy, Nick, top 5 all clumped together as they race into turn 1.
Absolutely. Let's go on board real quick if we can with the 15W of Cale Westover right now riding in the 5th spot. Down the back straightaway, I think Charles can get us in car. There we go. We are now in car with Cale Westover off of turn number 4. You can see the car slicing and dicing in front of him. Absolutely phenomenal shot here, folks, down in the front stretch into turn number 1. Rodney, we're working lap number 5 right now, and Westover knows he's got to go and got to go now, and he's going to try to pick up a spot off Kevin McNatt coming into 3.
There is Westover down at the bottom as they're 3 wide. Moppin up at the top, a little contact there. Moppin contact with Westover out of turn number 4, past the start-finish line. The 107 of Jared Moppin able to get by. Unbelievable that those 3 cars continued on track as they clustered up there coming out of turn number 4. Moppin leads that pack down. Final transfer spot on the line right there down to the bottom. McNatt, he creeps up the track, a little contact. Here's Westover, side by side, beating and banging Moppin and Westover into turn 1.
And now Atwood, Clay Atwood, 6th spot on the racetrack, makes his way there into the battle. This is absolutely phenomenal racing, ladies and gentlemen. The time for patience is gone, Rodney. We are coming to the white flag this time. The final transfer spot, the best battle on the racetrack right now. Actually, it's the battle for 4th, the best battle on the racetrack right now, as Westover and Moppin still doing battle into turn number 1. We're down the back straightaway for the final time. The final transfer spot hangs in the air right now, belongs to McNatt as Moppin steps over the edge. We're coming to the checkered flag, and it's going to be Pennington getting the win. 2nd spot going to be the 52.
Oh, big crash. Big crash. Billy Caps, Nick, right out of turn 4. Big shot. Big shot.
That is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for heat race action. Pennington, Holt, and McNatt, your movers and shakers there in heat race number 5. And that is going to do it for heat race action. And we are going to roll on into this alphabet soup, as we call it here in the dirt track world, Rodney. We are going to have a D main with 12 laps. The top 6 are going to transfer to the C.
And I'll tell you what, Nick, if those heat races, the intensity that we saw in those 5 heat races, think about that. Now you go to the alphabet soup where you really have to go to get into the cooped up 50. This is going to be some fun stuff right here.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, like if you win this if you finish 6th in the C main coming up, folks, for those of you who may be watching and don't really know how the alphabet soup works, if you finish 6th in the D main, you are going to start last in the C main, and then if you finish 6th in the C main, you will have a chance to start last in the B main. We are only going to take 6 out of the D, 6 from the C, and I'm looking at the format here. 9 cars will move from the B main to the feature, and of course that big A main event going to be 50 laps the distance, Rodney. This racetrack is going to be used up by then, and the whole thing is going to be wild.
Yeah, all of the action that we've seen, this track has taken a beating. Let's see if anything changes. It has been the top line, Nick, that has been the way to go tonight. Let's see if that changes as we get further into the program tonight.
I think the further we go, the bottom is going to come in. I can see some guys making some runs down on the bottom of the racetrack, and if you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you see as we get this shot right now, the top side of the racetrack, Rodney, I'm sure you can see it too, is going away. It's absolutely slick on the entry of both 1 and 3. The cushion is going to be right up over the edge, and you're going to have a lot of confidence in your car and yourself if you're going to run the outside here at Lernerville. Of course, the magic thing about this racetrack, after you leave the front stretch, there is no wall around the outside. It is absolutely no man's land on the other side of that dump, and you can already see a razor thin cushion. Rodney, the pace truck is going to pull off this time. We are going to take the green flag with Miles Keeney and Jason Beasley on row number 1.
Here we go. We are into the alphabet soup. Trouble, turn number 1. The 34 seals up in a pile up there into turn number 1 as we start the action, Nick. My goodness, that's how you get to the flag.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild right there, folks. We're going to wad up about half the field. You can see just about more cars than not with damage on them. The caution flag going to come out. KT King going to re-rack them and restack them. We've got an instant replay here, and it was the 16 car right off the outside of the front row getting into the wall, coming to the green flag, and that was where the bottom fell out right there.
Absolutely, it did. You saw it all start right as they approach the start-finish line. It all falls apart. You get cars going every which way, Nick. And if you're behind that mess, you have nothing to do but aim straight forward and hope that it's gone when you get there.
That's absolutely right. You can't do anything about it. All you can do is just, like you said, keep it pointed forward and hope that it's gone when you get there. And unfortunately, I like that. Hope that it's gone when you get there. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for most of those guys, it was still there when they arrived.
There's been many times, Nick, where I've been behind the wheel of a race car and I close my eyes and I'll be damned, I got through. I don't know how.
Just close, point and pray at that point, I guess.
That's exactly right.
Well, we're going to re-rack them and restack them here, ladies and gentlemen, behind the iRacing Silverado, I should say. We'll get the pace truck back out on the racetrack, get these guys re-racked and restacked, and turn them loose one more time. We did not score a lap, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think caution laps are counting here in the actually they may be in the alphabet soup. I do believe that come the feature time they will not count. We will run 50 green flag laps if my understanding is correct, so we'll work that out. Oh, caution laps. Yeah. Caution laps will be counting. Okay, my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. So they will be counting. So there is a possibility that we can finish this race under caution tonight. Of course, none of us really want to do that. So hopefully that's not how it ends up. But the story here in this race, then, Rodney, is the fact that these laps are counting. So if you're a Brandon Ball right now sitting in 12th spot, you've already blown 5 laps. We're working lap number 5 right here. You've got 7 left if we go green this time.
That's exactly right. The longer that they sit here and run around under caution, the further back you are, that's when it gets really, really edgy back there, which what that means, Nick, is when that green flag comes out, when the green flag drops, the you-know-what stops, especially if you're past the halfway point and you don't have a lot of time to try to get into those transfer spots.
Absolutely. It's gonna be hard work here for some of these guys mired in the back as we go back green flag racing. It was a single file restart that time, so that makes it even a little more difficult for some of those guys towards the back as we're now working down the back straightaway. Coming into turn number 3, it's Keeney out front, Underwood in second, Burks is third, Boatwright fourth, fifth is Jonathan Capps, and Colby Lishman rounds out that 6th and final transfer spot.
Keeney holding on into the 24. He's now opened up the advantage just a tad bit there over Underwood and Burks as they now go single file behind him. The Underwood car is the second place car number 4. Here is Burks. Burks cranks it down the hill. Here is Boatwright coming back at him. Keeney continues to check out from the field just a tad as we complete another lap here in the D main.
One more lap gone in the D main, working lap number 8 right now. We're watching Robert Burks duke it out with the 22 of Boatwright. That's Cody Boatwright down the back straightaway into turn number 3. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, how that racetrack has turned black around the outside, and I can promise you it is as slick as ice around the top side right now. And Rodney, you can see as we go on board here with Boatwright, you can see how 1 and 2 are even different. They're aging, they're wearing differently than 3 and 4. 3 and 4, there's a lot of moisture gone off the top, but the bottom seems to be coming in, maybe even still a bit green around the bottom of 3 and 4. But as we come into turn 1 and 2, it's a lot blacker, a lot lower on the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely, it sure is. So we will see how that track continues to work and how that affects the racing here tonight. Back down to the inside, here is the 28 trying to make the move on Capps. That is Lishman out of corner number 4. They head down to turn number 1. It continues to be Keeney holding on. Underwood, Burks, that is your top 3. Remember, we take 6 here out of the D main as we head towards the C main coming up next.
And Colby Lishman, ladies and gentlemen, as we're about to take the white flag, has worked his way into that 6th and final transfer spot from 14th. He's up 8 spots since the drop of the green flag, folks. He has worked his tail off to get into this C main coming up here. He's duking it out right now with Jonathan Capps for the 5th spot as the leaders are already off turn number 4. The checkered flag will wave. It'll be Keeney taking the win. Underwood will be 2nd. Burks will be 3rd. Boatwright 4th. Lishman from 14th to 5th. And Jonathan Capps going to round out the top 6 transfers. The rest of them are done. The rest of them are absolutely done, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to move on to the C main. I want to give a real quick shout out here real quick to McNeil Motorsports. Betty McNeil with McNeil Motorsports giving $10 to each heat race winner. So thank you, Betty and McNeil Motorsports, for helping us out here with the Cooped Up 50. That is a huge, huge sponsor right there for those guys taking the heat race wins a little earlier this evening.
Isn't that so cool, Nick? Even though we're doing this virtually, even though we're doing iRacing, you still have folks that are stepping up and putting money in this pot, additional money for these guys to get out here and race. This has every feel of a regular Saturday night, except we're, maybe in our comfy pants, maybe having a cold beverage, whatever we're doing it, and it's fun tonight right here with LSRTV and Race on Texas.
Oh, I just want to go on the record as saying I am both A and B right now. I'm definitely in my comfy pants, and there is definitely an ice cold beer on my desk right here in front of me. No doubt about that. 100%.
No doubt. No doubt.
Why, if you can't take advantage of being at home, what else can you do, right?
That's exactly right. I think we're all finding a new appreciation for being stuck at home. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
No, not really at all. I got racing on the screen here. I got good racing on the screen here. I got a nice cold beer. I got my nice PJ pants on. It's fabulous. We've got some real quick sponsors here as we roll out the C main as well. Josh Martin with Bodies by 88M sponsored $10 to the winner of the C main. Donna Whitehead sponsoring $10 to second place, and Maverick Design with Chase Rasmussen sponsoring $15 to the first car not making it out of the C main. So seventh place in this race, gonna walk away with $15. It is absolutely phenomenal to see the way that the community comes together, really from all over the country, to gather right here at the virtual Lernerville Speedway and put on some great racing tonight.
Yeah, it really is, Nick. And the beautiful thing about it is, last that I could tell, we have so many people that are being a part of this broadcast tonight. So thanks to each and every one of you for jumping on and being a part of this. The Cooped Up 50, appropriate name for our race here this evening, and the racing has been phenomenal. It's only going to get better. The track is changing. Green flag, we're underway with the C main.
We are underway indeed. 14 laps of distance here, ladies and gentlemen, and jumping out to a early lead off the bottom of turn number 2. Jared Maupin sneaking in. He's going to take advantage of the mistake by Michael King Jr., and Maupin going to be your race leader off of turn number 4. Rodney, he'll lead lap number 1.
Indeed, the 107, but there's a cluster of cars back there behind him, led by Dylan Glass in the 42. Whitehead, Wilkie, what a battle you have back there, almost 4 wide as they come out of corner number 4, actually, or corner number 2. Actually, there they are, 4 wide, beating and banging off each other, trying to continue their night. They don't want to be done yet. Maupin continues to hold on, but look at this cluster of cars back behind the leaders.
And there are some heavy hitters in this one as well, Rodney. You got Justin Whitehead right now mired in about 9th position, 8th, 9th spot. He is 3 spots out of a transfer right now and gonna get further back, gonna end up off the track. It looked like the 1-9 of Dylan Robinson maybe getting in. No, that was Daniel Worthington getting into Justin Whitehead there. Whitehead gonna point it back around in the right direction. We're not gonna get a yellow out of the way and out of the line, but unfortunately probably out of the race as well for Justin Whitehead.
And Justin Bailey was awful close in the 41 to those transfer spots. He spit out of turn 4, and he's now mired way back, so a big hill to climb for him as they feel out of turn number 2, and they continue to stay 3 wide all the way around this racetrack. Unbelievable as Maupin is holding on. He makes the big move at the beginning of the race, and now he's trying to check out of here, followed by King and Seals. That's your top 3 here in this C main, and a big spin out of turn number 4. But we go back to turn number 2. No yellow.
Yeah, looks like the 74 going around. We've got the 5 car as well at the top of the racetrack. We may, everybody clears the racetrack, so we're going to keep it clean and green here. It's still the pride of Weslaco, Texas. Jared Maupin out in front. I got to say, Rodney, that young man right there has impressed me with his talent over the past season. He won races at all 3 tracks in South Texas in 2019, driving a limited modified. And at most of those tracks, and indeed most of the tracks across South Texas, that limited modified or sport mod or whatever moniker you want to give them, that's often the most competitive class on the dirt here in the Lone Star State. So Maupin, easily one of the best young guns in South Texas right now, out in front.
Absolutely, a very consistent campaigner there, Maupin. Like you said, Nick, if you can go on and win at every track, that tells you how versatile this driver is, and he's at the front of the pack here in iRacing, so he's really proving how good he is as he's doing it here on the sim tonight and holding on as we're beating and banging back there with the 515 Trent Murphy and Dylan Glass. Now going to the inside, the 41 of Daniel Worthington, so they were 3 wide just for a second now. Here they come out of turn 4. Up at the top, it's a 42 of Glass. Sideways of 515 of Murphy. Way down at the bottom of the racetrack, gathering it back in is Keeney in the 24. Continues to be mopping up at the front, Nick.
Man, that was a haymaker of a slide job if I've ever seen one out of the 24 machine of Keeney, but it didn't work out for him. That's not even for a transfer spot right now, Rodney. These guys aren't even in the show. They're trying to get there, but they're a couple of spots out right now. Some phenomenal action as you see the 515 of Humphrey all the way down in the grass off of turn number 1.
Meanwhile, behind that, still the 21 of Worthington and Glass right there. That is for 5th and 6th. They continue to battle. They're up at the top of the racetrack still. They fall back in line once again as they head to corner number 1. Leader continues to be Maupin. Maupin up at the front, holding on. King and Steels rounding out the top 3, but that is a hot spot right there with Worthington and Glass, the 21 and the 42 respectively, and down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Steele's about to have his hands full too, Rodney, with Justin McNeil. McNeil looking to the inside of turn number 3, was looking for a slide job, but just like I said earlier, you've got to be committed in this class to that move. It's going to kill the momentum, and it did, as McNeil lost about 3 car lengths on Seals with just that one mistake.
Absolutely, he did. Here's Worthington back again. Going to try to come back at McNeil. He'll get in line behind him as they come out of turn number 4. There they are, all in line into turn number 1. This is just a tremendous battle right here to watch these guys work these machines around. As we said, Nick, putting it in the driver's hands right here. The slowest cars, yes, but the hardest to drive, and they're making it look real nice and smooth. Down to the bottom, the 24 of Keeney makes a big move out of turn 4.
And that was the move for the final transfer spot, and I believe it's going to be Keeney getting credited, and that was the end of the race, Rodney. So with that eye maneuver, Michael Keeney going to race his way into the B main. He will start dead last coming up in the 16-lap B main. What a move by Michael Keeney to race his way in. Of course, Jared Maupin getting the win, Michael King in second, Philip Seals, Justin McNeil, Daniel Worthington, and Miles Keeney with that last lap Hail Mary pass on the bottom, gonna race his way into the B main. Of course, Jared Maupin and Michael King will pick up $10 for their efforts, courtesy of, once again, Josh Martin with Bodies by 88M and Donna Whitehead, respectively. Coming up next, the B main, ladies and gentlemen.
And what a move there by Keeney, Nick. If you're going to transfer, I mean, you lay it all on the line. The last lap, you make a bonsai move. That is what this is all about right there.
Go big or go home, man. I mean, you know what? If you junk it, all you got to do is hit the reset button. You got to put the race car right there.
Oh, isn't that nice? That is the beauty. That is the beauty of this.
The best sponsors in the world backing every team on the racetrack, but nonetheless, congrats to Keeney. Hey, sometimes that just makes for good broadcasting right there, my friend.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. You know, Nick, we lost Kenny Rogers last weekend. You had to know when to hold him and know when to fold him, and right there, he didn't fold him right there.
Absolutely not. We are about to go B main racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Martin with Bodies by 88M, again sponsoring $10, the winner of the B main. McDaniel Fireworks, $25 to the winner, and Custom Coatings and Fab, $20 to the winner. So the winner of the B main going to pick up $55 for their efforts here, courtesy of those sponsors. Donna Whitehead sponsoring $10 to second place. Colby Tarrant, $10 to 7th and 8th place. Patriot Racing, $40 to the first car not making it out of this race. So 10th spot in the B main, gonna pay $40. And Chris Riggs, BJ Moore with CCF, $20 to the hard charger of the B main. Rodney, we are getting ready to drop the green flag right here off of 4.
Not a bad night at the office. Here we go, green and going as we race in the B main. Trouble out of turn 4. They dive into turn number 1, and it's Rogers, Harris, leading the pack. There they go on to the back straightaway. Harris in the 199. Let's watch him. He was really, really good in the heat race. Oh, a little trouble up over the hill there. Clay Atwood in the 111 gathers it back in, keeps it on the racetrack out of corner 4. It is Rogers in the 02 leading lap number 1.
Man, there was a whole bunch of wild crossed-up racing right there off of turn 4. We've got Cale Westover out front. Ryan Harris now in second spot. They're like 4 wide right behind him, Rodney. This is absolutely insane.
My goodness. Race or go home. You want to transfer, obviously, to get into the Cooped Up 50 out of turn 4. Trouble, all kinds of trouble on the front stretch. We are dumping them hard and heavy up and over the 188. Look at that tumble. My goodness.
My goodness.
Holy smoke.
Rolled for days down
the whole length of the front stretch. My goodness.
I don't know. Oh, we did. Okay, we did get a yellow flag. I don't know if the KT's going to throw a yellow, but we got one. We're going to cue it up here, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Watch it coming down the front side. Some wild action here. We'll get it pulled up for you. Of course, they were 4 wide going through 1 and 2 at one point, Rodney. And this track is wide, but I don't think it's wide enough for that, as we find out here in just a second.
No, you could see that one coming. You saw that coming as that was developing.
And it looked like maybe Blaylock getting into the 188. So Brandon Blaylock may be involved there as well. Of course, the 188 of poor Wes Wiegand going for a wild ride down the front straightaway.
That was one heck of a tumble as we get set. And it is Westover on the point as we gather him back in. Man, what excitement, Nick.
Oh, I love it, man. I realize that there's some folks who are divided on this iRacing thing. I mean, watching sim racing, no, it's nothing like going to the track and here, be it pavement or dirt, it's nothing like going to the racetrack, hearing those engines and smelling the fuel and smelling the rubber. And God, I'm gonna get a little upset here in a second if I don't stop it. But it's not the same. But we're playing the hand with the cards we got.
Right.
We're doing the best we can. We just hope so much. We hope that you folks who are watching this at home, be it on your smart TV or your computer or your cell phone or whatever you've got, we just hope that you enjoy it. I mean, Rodney and I are missing this as much as you are. I know that for a fact, and we're just here to bring a little bit of a spark of joy into an otherwise tired and weary world, I think, right now.
Yeah, and I think, Nick, we really need to feel fortunate that we do have this. I mean, because otherwise we're watching old VHS tapes or races from the past. This is live. This is right now.
Absolutely. It's the next best thing we can do right now, Rodney. We go back green flag racing in the B main, Westover up top, Matthew Day on the bottom. Both of these guys, some pretty good shoes in real life. Of course, Kel Westover, if you know the name, the driver from Altus, Oklahoma, drives limited modifieds, drives modifieds, and is very talented behind the wheel of both. He won the South Texas Shootout back in December at South Texas Speedway, picked up $5,000 for the effort, and is leading the way right now in the B main.
Absolutely. It is Westover in the 35. Let's keep our eye on Ryan Harris in the 199 as we see the battle developing back there behind him. Here's Travis Montgomery taking a peek down on the inside of the 77 car as they head down the front stretch one more time, but it is Westover, Day, and Harris. They run 1, 2, 3 here in the B main, looking to transfer into the Cooped Up 50 coming up here in just a little bit at Lernerville Speedway.
Well, I gotta tell you, Rodney, there are 2 guys who both have transfer spots right now. They're inside the top 5 who have moved up nearly double-digit spaces. Matthew Day running in second spot right now, up 10 spots from the drop of the green flag. This man started in the 12th position. He's now running second. Jared Maupin right now running 5th in the 107. Started in 13th. He was the winner of the C main. He's up inside the top 5 right now. And the man out front has picked up 4 spots. Cale Westover started inside of row number 3. Right now leading this thing. The battle for second, though, is getting hot. Day up top. Here comes the 199 of Harris right behind him, Rodney. That berm is razor thin right around the outside. The cushion right up against the wall down the front straightaway.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they'll go into turn number 1. They'll make their way through corner number 2. That is the spot on the racetrack, that second place battle, the 54 and the 199. A little contact there with Rogers in the 02 with the 45 there, a little bit further behind in Montgomery. But that second place battle continuing to shape up as they race. The track is changing, Nick, as you mentioned. So this is where it's going to get really, really good as we get later into the night.
The track absolutely changing here, Rodney, but I'm seeing in race control, because we've got a very well-worn racetrack, I'm seeing in the race control box that the track state has been reset for the next session. So we will get some wear in our 5-minute warm-up session, and then we will have plenty of, trust me, 50 laps. This racetrack is going to look exactly like it does right now, but it gives these drivers a chance to maybe relax a little bit, get a little bit more traction under the tires, and put on a little bit faster time. The track is going to be about as fast as you saw it in practice and qualifying, but nonetheless, we've got, I think we're working last lap right here. This is lap number 16. Kel Westover leads him one more time down the back straightaway. A huge 2.9 second advantage for your leader. Rodney, he is sailing around the outside. He'll take the win.
Absolutely. Westover wins. It'll be Day and Harris, the top 3. What a battle there as Westover, just a phenomenal drive, and you see how good he is. Has a little contact there coming across. Big shot from the 21 of Worthington at the end of the race.
I got to tell you, Rodney, Cale Westover's only been in the iRacing service for about, I want to say, like 3 weeks. Cale does not have the laps in the sim that some of these other drivers do, but
you wouldn't know it.
No, absolutely not.
Nick, you know that stuff translates pretty well. You know, a lot of guys who are good on real life racetracks, they're pretty good on the sim race and stuff, so it transfers over pretty well.
Well, hey, here's Zach Clark. Well,
hey, listen, fellas, the struggle has been absolutely real this evening. This is my first ever time to get on broadcast my race with you guys. Happy to do it. Hey, I had to go through a little hoops, but hey, we're here now, so we're gonna make the best of it. Seen some great racing here the last couple of laps, and happy to join in with you guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, it's a whole new world. I know the basic principles are the same, but it's a whole new experience, man, and there are, Zach, and you can attest to this, and Rodney, I'm sure you can too, all of the hiccups that you have in a real race broadcast take place over several hours or maybe even a couple of days. All of the hiccups condense in iRacing into about, the final 15
much
minutes
quicker.
Before, yeah. And if something goes wrong, you've got minimal time to fix it. So, Zachary, we're just happy that you're here, man.
I'm happy to be here. Hey, and you get the silly stuff out first, I actually signed in as a racer. As bad as I want to get on here and compete with these guys, I have no chance. I signed in as a racer, and then it wouldn't allow me to sign back in as a spectator, so I created a whole new account because I wanted to be here that bad.
Yeah, well, guys, I was seriously stressed out about this afternoon because I'm like, wait a minute. So I need to log into this, and then I have to do this, and I still messed up. I don't have the scoring. I'm looking at the one on the iRacing. So, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot of adapt and just do the best you can, like we've all been doing for the last 30 some odd days. It feels like we're doing our best. Like I said, we're playing the hand we were dealt. Right now we are at some warm up, ladies and gentlemen. I think we may be ready for a little bit of a break. I know I need to wet the old whistle.
Yes,
Rodney
sir.
And Zach, if y'all want to sit here and chit chat for a second, we can. But I'm gonna wet the old whistle. I think we're gonna go to commercial.
Take a pause for the cause.
They say everything is bigger. These guys down in Texas aren't messing around. This feature race will separate the boys from the men, the girls from the ladies. Can you handle racing 300 laps for $25,000? It's not as easy as you think. We don't stop to tow those too weak. We just push them out of the way. We don't run 20 laps. We run 300 each night. We don't care about what you and your boys have under the hood. Bring all you got. Don't be scared. Call my Cowboy Jack today to get signed up. It all goes down on October 2nd and 3rd in Mesquite, Texas, just outside of Dallas. Kenny Wallace is coming back this year to try again. You don't have excuses. Go to LoneStar600.com now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for the Cooped Up 50 main event. We've got Zach Clark in here with us, Rodney. We're going to hand it over to him, let him get this lineup out. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for 50 laps of some of the best racing you're going to see anywhere tonight. Zachary, take it away.
Pretty cool stuff. I'll get right down to it. Glad to be here. Like I said a few minutes ago, a few technical difficulties, but happy to be here. If we can't be at the racetrack, Nick, we'd love to be there. Rodney as well. It's something we love to do on a dirt track Saturday night, but we'll take it. Sitting at the crib as we're cooped up here, and we just certainly send all of our thoughts and prayers out to the folks who've been affected by this virus and all those great things. So we hope you enjoy the show here tonight as we're down to the nitty-gritty, a feature time. On the pole tonight out of San Antonio, Texas, Pops car number 66, a very versatile racer. Pretty good shoe behind the cockpit of this number 66. Johnny Torres going to be on the pole for the main event tonight in the street stocks. Colby Newborn outside of the front row. Is that Connor or Colby? Not sure. We'll find out in just a moment. I think Connor may be behind the wheel of 13 tonight. He's pretty accomplished. Inside of 2, it'll be the number 142 out of Texarkana, the Pro 1 transmission entry, a Taylor Frost. He has scored wins around the Arklatex at Arklatex 67 Speedway. Pretty well accomplished racer out of the Arklatex. Corey Whitworth going to line up the outside of row number 2 and 4th in car number 69. Starting inside of 3 of the 115, it'll be Coy Pennington. Colby Collins lines up 6 outside of row number 3. Topper Dugas out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Ponting car number 53 will start 7th, with Cortland Smith along his outside in 7. Tyler Butler will be behind the cockpit of the number 47, starting inside of row number 5 to the outside. The Black Flag King, Justin Holt, in the number 31. Youngster CJ Howell, who scored 7 wins a year ago between 3 different Louisiana area racetracks. CJ Howell will start 11th, with Shelby Hinton, the very versatile young racer, 13 years old, races those mini sprint cars across the great state of Texas and beyond. Trace Smitherman will line up 13th tonight. The Moo Crew's in the house. Number 96, again, Trace Smitherman. Ricky Thornton Jr., former King of America Modified Nationals champion of the USMTS Modified at the Humboldt Speedway, lines up in 20s out of Tucson, Arizona. Kevin McNatt, piloting number 88, starts 15th, with Kel Westover, this year's South Texas Shootout winner down at the South Texas Speedway. Matthew Day lines up 17th and 54. Ryan Harrison, 199. Jacob Lasser, Jared Maupin, and Wyatt Wagner. That's your, Clay Atwood in the 1111. Danny Rogers and Justin McNeil. That is your 24-car starting field. And this one, Nick, Rodney, let's rock and roll.
Here we go, guys. Coming down, Johnny Torres. Boys, let's go racing. Take it away, Nick.
Off of turn number 4, down the front stretch, and into turn 1, it is JT from San Antonio, Texas. Johnny Torres leads the field down the back straightaway for the first time. Into turn number 3 with Newborn second. Looks like the 30 machine of Whitworth right around the outside. Frost rounding out the top 4, and it is Pennington rounding out the top 5 as we complete lap number 1.
Johnny Torres at the front of the pack in the 66, the 13, the 69, the 142, the 115. Look at him go down the back straightaway side by side, diving into turn number 3. Down on the inside, it's Dugas in the 53, sliding across. Here is Hinton in the 44 as they hit the start-finish line one more time, heading to turn number 1. All chasing JT, Johnny Torres.
Man, an absolute wild shot to the inside, Zach, from Newborn in that 36 machine. Did you see the look down to the inside of turn number 3 that time around?
Yeah, he drove her in deep, sort of a little bit cheap, was able to corral and hold on to her as we look here off of turn number 4 down the front boulevard. And these guys right now nose to tail. I mean, there's not it's a very slight margin for error in these cars. Very realistic how these things handle as they're rolling 1 by 2 by 3 and 4 wide throughout the field.
We are on board right now, boys, down the backstretch and into turn 3 with your runner-up chasing that all-in designs number 66 of Johnny Torres. We're riding with Newborn down the front straightaway. Torres now maybe going to the bottom. I think Newborn had showed him that the bottom was there a time or two before, and Torres now looking to the inside. Here comes a 30 machine on the bottom of turn number 3. That is going to be Whitworth now to the second spot off of 4.
Yeah, Torres is indeed taking a peek down there on the bottom, and just tremendous racing here a little bit further back in the pack. 5 wide down the front straightaway, guys, as they take it into turn number 1, and they stay off of each other. Miraculously, they get through turns 1 and 2. Everybody's still rolling, still contact on the backstretch as they dive into turn number 3. Zach?
That is absolutely some insane racing, Rodney. As you, we've got them together down the front stretch. It's Day getting together with the 44. What a save by both of those drivers. I believe that was Dugas and no, it was Colby Hinton, or Shelby Hinton, excuse me, and Matthew Day getting together down the front stretch. What a save out of both of those guys. We take a peek towards the back of the pack. There's some more action going on. These are your B-Main transfer cars. In fact, your B-Main winner, Jared Maupin out of West Lacote, Texas, right now around the outside outside of turns 1 and 2, duking it out with Justin McNeil down the backstretch. That is for like 21st on the racetrack, guys. There's racing from the top to the bottom of this running order.
Absolutely, and do not think, Nick, folks watching, do not think that this is easy. These guys have had to race their tails off here tonight to get into the field. This is just as stressful as doing it inside the real car. Some of these guys have been on the brink of elimination throughout the night, but they've managed to get into this 50-lap main event. This is tremendous action that we're watching.
It really is incredible, guys. I mean, it's absolutely insane. If you've never hopped behind the wheel, if you're watching this live tonight on Race on Texas or the LSRTV page, and you don't have an idea of what this is like, I mean, if you have a friend, tell them you want to try out their iRacing deal. It is absolutely incredible how realistic this simulator is. And to think about going out there and making laps in a real car, much like, I mean, getting on here, it is very realistic, like I said, and it can translate. Guys that are good in real life are pretty good at this video game as well.
No doubt. Absolutely. There are some of them that definitely make the transition very well. As we've got our first yellow flag of the main event, boys, we're going to whoa them up, slow them up. We'll get them behind the pace truck here. Looks like we've got the replay queued up. Cody Wooten, of course, running the cameras for us this evening, doing a fantastic job. And it was Cale Westover hanging the right rear over the cushion in turn number 4 and slamming the outside retaining wall, the only wall, Cale, at Lernerville Speedway, and you hit it square on.
Saw him a couple of laps ago, Nick, as he was hanging it over the cushion there on the back straightaway. May have had a little bit of help that time. Not so lucky this time, as a rough ending there for the 35, as he's raced his ass off tonight as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the risks that you take. Of course, Zach and I have watched Cale many times on the racetrack. Zach can attest to his skill and prowess behind the wheel. And Zach, you want to talk about one of those guys that transfers over? Cale's only been on the service for like 3 weeks, dude.
Yeah, it's impressive. You know, he's a very versatile driver. I mean, he runs the open wheel modifieds. I mean, he's always in contention. If he doesn't have heartbreak, you can bet your hard-earned dollar that the driver of the 44 drywall, or if it's the 15W, he's gonna certainly have his say in the mix. It's translated well for him as well, and nothing better to do than get on some iRacing and have some fun. You know, it's pretty interesting to see the just the iRacing, just the total business of it just skyrocket. I mean, it was pretty popular before, but it is incredible how many guys are interested in doing this now, and I think they all see that it's pretty fun, pretty competitive as well. Puts on a good show.
So we've got some A-main sponsors here I need to run through real quick. We're going to eat into some racing here, but I'm going to do this quick as I can. Lap number 5, $20. Sponsored by Derek Cates for Carol Baskins. And if any of you have watched the Tiger King show, you get that gag. Lap number 27, $25 from our guy Scott Swinner at Bulletproof Tees. Thanks to Scott. Lap number 39, $39 in memory of Jamie Lowe. Yes. Of course, we don't ever want to forget Jamie. Absolutely, 100%. We are back green, guys. I got a full rundown of the purse. We'll go over that later, but we are back underway, and a new leader here as Mewbourne makes the move, and Torres crossing back up off of 4.
Rolled down and let the cautions back out, fellas. Yeah. Stepping on your toes. The cautions back out as a pretty wild restart. That's what happens when you re-rack them and stack them. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them.
And so just so you're caught up here, Zachary, as we watch the replay, looks like the 7 machine going to hang it off the back straightaway just a little bit. He and the 47 getting together in the 7 car, the Taco Bell scheme, ended up going for a wild ride. That's Henry Smith in the outside wall. But, Zach, just so you know, yellow flag laps are counting here tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, just so we're aware, this is my first rodeo at this. I'm not sure that I'm always seeing exactly what you guys are seeing. I may be an error on my behalf. So if I happen to call something that maybe didn't line up, I'm just throwing it out there right now.
It was funny a while ago in the B main. There was a battle for second, and Nick threw it to me, and I couldn't see it. So I was like, "Yeah, down on the inside."
I do have one additional sponsor since we're about to be lap 21. I think we're on lap number 18 of this 50-lap affair. Again, caution laps do count here tonight of this Cooped Up 50 event presented by RaceOnTexas.com. Ashley 21 Ridge Studio, Ashley Ridge Photography, gonna put down 10 more bones to the driver who is leading this race on lap number 21.
Oh, all right then. Hopefully, I'm sure old JT is hoping he's out front. He's been out front since dropping the green flag. And Johnny real strong in these street stocks here, Zach, has really done well over the last couple of weeks racing with us, and just loves to have a good time. JT, just as you know as well as I do, just as cool as a cucumber. Always a pleasure to be around. A great dude, a barrel of laughs. Absolutely.
He's good on a mic too, Nick. I mean, you know, we were broadcasting at Texas Motor Speedway Speedway's dirt track. He came up there on the practice night, sat up there with us a good hour and a half, and just talked about the racing, and pretty cool to get his unique perspective. Like you mentioned, he's good in the limited modified ranks. He had a great performance in that Scott Ball Racing IRP race car the last couple of years, won quite a few races at I-37 Speedway. Johnny, too, in that Scott Ball Racing laser chassis that he had in the factory stocks, did very well in that 66 car.
Yeah, guys, you know, you're exactly correct there with Johnny Torres. We had him on the Revved Up Sports Show a couple of months ago, and we were pushing him to be a promoter. If he chooses not to be a promoter and steps away from racing, he can damn sure be a talk show host or a race analysis or something. Got the gift of gab. Absolutely.
We won't blow too much smoke up his rear, but he's a pretty good guy.
He's all right.
We've had a little bit of an issue here. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I see in race control box that JT was given an EOL penalty, which stands for end of line. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it looks like we might be...
This isn't NASCAR, brother.
So we've
what happened here? It's
I think we've had a net code issue. I'll see if I can get into race control and see what's going on. They've got everybody stopped on the racetrack. I'm sure KT is trying to get everyone in the right order, and we don't want them rolling, because if they roll, they're going to cross the start-finish line, and we're going to tick off a lap here. So,
the pace truck's going for help. I saw him drive out of there.
Yeah, John Young was. John Young folded up his chairs, and he's out of here.
Give me just a second. I'm going to hop up in the lobby with KT. I'll figure out what's going on.
Absolutely. What a fun night we were watching here, the Cooped Up 50, Zach, because these guys, and seriously, we were talking about it earlier in the broadcast tonight. I mean, you can play Madden, you can play NBA 2020, all of this stuff, but you cannot simulate it any better than what we're watching here.
And you've watched the progression, you know, how technology has taken over, you know, just, you know, all the gaming systems and everything. You can look at a game of Madden or NBA 2K, and you're like, man, this looks so realistic. You can see the sweat dropping off these guys' faces. I mean, it's just the realism of it. And I mean, as a racer, I mean, you sit in one of these deals, I mean, these NASCAR heat games or anything on PlayStation 4 is not going to do justice to what this offers. This is an actual simulator. I don't even call this a video game. This is a simulator, and these guys are actually racing a car sitting at the crib. It is incredible what they're able to do.
Absolutely. And think about this, Zach. Once this is all over, once we get through all of this pandemic and everything that we're going through, we're watching this here tonight. I mean, you're seeing NASCAR doing it, IndyCar, seeing the World of Outlaws, how it is going to change iRacing for the good. It's going to be something definitely good that comes out of this.
It is, absolutely, and it's really cool too. I mean, I think it gets maybe some young kids or somebody maybe interested in the sport to get out here. You know, maybe they see the World of Outlaws deal. Maybe they want to go watch the World of Outlaws. But I think we just need to have the World of Outlaws live on Fox Sports 1 anyway. That's just my take on it. And maybe that'll help get them on the deal as well. As we're back underway here, lap number 23 scored of this 50-lap affair as they roll down the back boulevard, down into turns 3 and 4 on the restart, Rodney. We're about to get after it, and the caution is back out.
Yeah, that looked
another yellow flag. That was, that
Tyler
was wild
Butler
down the back straightaway. Absolutely.
You know, I think we may have to start implementing a little social distancing on these cats out here and tell them to lay off each other about 6 feet, and we might be able to get through this joint.
Calm down, boys. And again, you folks that are watching this, and Zach, you said it so nicely there. This isn't just a video game, and don't try to tell me that these guys aren't taking this seriously tonight. If you're watching what we're watching, these guys are dead serious to win this Cooped Up 50 tonight.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because when there's a lot of great contingency, and props to Justin Whitehead for, you know, all the different sponsors and things that have been put into this race. You know, we joke about it sometimes, like, well, I hit the brakes at the line, you know, several years ago. I think 4th place paid more than what it paid to win. And, you know, guys were like, oh, I think he was brake checking the line. He was trying to finish 4th. Well, it's like, obviously, all these guys want to win. This is about bragging rights. I mean, a lot of different things. But, I mean, props to all the different things that are on the line here tonight. I mean, you may end up coming home maybe with a little bit more than what you got for finishing 3rd, rather than finishing a little higher up. I'm not sure, but props again to Justin for everything he's done putting into this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of love, LSRTV and Race on Texas. I mean, shout out to those folks. I mean, when this thing is all said and done, give them some great comments, give them some love for getting this put together. Charles is taking care of us here, making all of this happen. There's a lot of working pieces to this, I'm realizing. I thought this might be a little bit easier. And like I said, I was nervous, guys, before we started this. I'm like, how the hell are we going to pull this off?
I always say that's one of my favorite things about announcing racing is it's always the unknowing. I mean, every time Nick shows up to a racetrack, Rodney, yourself, I know that you haven't been behind the booth very long, but you do a fantastic job, is the unknowing of our sport. I mean, you never know. I mean, that's what makes sports so great, is you just, every single lap's different, every single different week. I mean, and you show up for or just what you don't know what's coming in the next corner, and you try to think a couple seconds ahead. But this is certainly a learning experience, but it is a lot of fun, and look forward to doing it a little bit more often as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully more of these in the hopper as we continue to work through this. Everything's still going to be on hold for a little bit, so hopefully we get to do this more often.
Oh, I guarantee you, boys, this is going to happen a few more times as the pace truck pulls off the racetrack. Colby Newborn going to smash the loud pedal once again off of turn number 4, and we are back underway, guys.
A pair of 2 Texarkana area racers right now lead the herd. They're 1 and 2. I believe Connor Muir behind the wheel of number 13 tonight rather than Colby, as I believe they may share that account. Nonetheless, they roll down the back straightaway. It's Muir out front over Frost, Whitworth, Pennington, and Collins, your top 5.
Boy, those top 4, 5, 6, now 10 cars, Zach, as they're like 3, 4 wide back there off of turn number 4. Some absolutely phenomenal racing down the back straightaway, or front straightaway, back into turn number 1. Mewborn and Whitworth wheel to wheel down the back chute into 3.
Absolutely, and look at the field as they go into turn number 3. You do have them stacked 2 and 3 deep wide as they make their way through. 3 wide out of turn 4, and we got a big old bundle of cars all wadded up there coming out of 4, guys.
These guys, boy, that's Ricky Thornton Jr. upside down out of turn number 4. These guys are absolutely going nuts here. 3, 4, I think they were 5 wide for a brief moment, and that didn't quite work out. It was the 03 machine that actually went around
Colby Collins.
Colby Collins got sideways off of 4. The top side of this racetrack, boys, and I told you, Rodney, when we reset the track to 0 before warm up, I said 50 laps, it's going to be back like it was, and it is. It's absolutely like it was before.
Yeah, and you've got everybody trying to get up to that prime real estate up there, and that's how you end up like this. Look at so many of these cars. They're all beat up. I mean, you've got the front snout on these cars just totally dinged up, so many of them.
I'm seeing here in race control, guys, that we're going to go to single file restarts. We have just crossed over onto lap 32, so we've got 18 laps left here in the Cooped Up 50. $275 on the line for the winner tonight, plus an iRacing wrap sponsored by Tubbs Milner, Charlie Tubbs Milner, of course, of Milner Media and Design. Of course, he also has the Dirt Track Junkies brand, so Tubbs helping out a lot here in the iRacing world. He does a lot of great stuff. $275 to the winner of this race.
Wow.
And the next driver who causes a caution, you owe me $20.
Hey, Nick, did we get a confirmation on what was with Johnny Torres?
I didn't get a word on what happened to JT. I don't know if he had some internet connectivity issues, which happens, and that's a whole new thing to this iRacing world that I've come into.
Hey, it's like losing a distributor.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. You've lost a distributor. You got no spark. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And it happens, of course. And then I think we had an issue. There was a glitch with the a pace truck a little bit earlier when we had to stop everybody on the racetrack. Is what happened there. So we've got it figured out. I can guarantee you that KT King running this race is the best in the business when it comes to doing this admin thing. Of course, with the Team VLR, they do a lot of racing here on the iRacing service, and they run a great show. So we're just happy to have them on board. We want to thank KT and I believe Stephen Calavota back there as well, helping out on the backside of things. I'm going to give you a full breakdown here of the purse as we go back green. $275 for the winner, $175 for second, $130 plus 10 from I-37 Speedway for third, and then 15 all the way down to start, courtesy of, I believe that was Lishman Floor Coverings helping out there. And we're back underway here with the Green Flag Boys. We are working lap number 35, and it's still Mewborn out in front.
A lot like this particular race is structured, with all the money go back in between. We'll get to the race, and actually as they're door-to-door for the race lead, it appears they rolled off a 2 down the back straightaway. As Whitehead puts a lot into its factory stock 50. Look for that at 67 Speedway. A lot of great contingencies and things that go into that, and we are back yellow. Who owes me 20?
We'll find out here real quick.
Let's take a look. I missed it.
Here comes Juan Pablo.
There was a car at the bottom of the racetrack down there in the apron coming out of turn number 4, but I didn't see it turn sideways or flip over or anything. I don't know what we may have missed there, boys.
Looks like the 2 car, I believe that's CJ Howell that got around. Yeah, Howell, the Howell iGraphics Dirt Defender number 2 machine, orange and blue car down around there, got together with the Cole Trickle themed 47. Who's in it? That's Tyler Butler in the 47.
And I got to tell you guys, I'm an old stock car guy. I've been doing this for a long time. So to watch these cars, to get to do this race with these cars, this really gives it a damn good Saturday night racing feel right here.
Sure, absolutely.
It hits you right in the nostalgia tickles, doesn't it?
I think about a lot of nights at Boot Hill Speedway and Webster Speedway growing up as a youngster in the stands and watching these old Camaros, these street stocks, put on fantastic racing. I mean, I could just name some guys, but Nick, I imagine, Rodney, I'm sure you've seen this style of car at a Saturday night short track at some point in your life.
I'll tell you the crazy thing, Zach. I've got one of these put away somewhere. I've got a full-bodied one put away somewhere. May have to dig that bad boy out. Actually, although it may be easier to do this. I'm liking this a little bit better.
Well, when you're a gangster like Rodney Rodriguez, I'm not, just got Camaros just thrown away in the old shit out there.
I gotta tell you, boys, back in the day when I was a kid, the old Leaf Spring Camaro was the car to have.
Yes, sir.
In dirt stock car racing, it was the one to have. They were a dime a dozen in a junkyard. You couldn't beat them on the racetrack. They were absolutely phenomenal to watch. I'm waxing a bit nostalgic here, guys. I kind of miss those days.
I'm going to mention
Camaro stock car racing.
I'm going to mention two guys for Gil Larry, Jim Spurlock, fastest two Camaros I've probably ever seen in my life. and the old 98 for Gil Larry, it had a smiley face on the front. Boy,
nice.
Sure made a lot of other guys angry.
Well, guys, I can tell you on the pavement side, it was the Camaros you're talking about and the Novas. And it's funny, they used to call it the Camaro class like it was a bad thing back then. Boy, we would die to have a Camaro class once again.
Oh, absolutely. We go back green one more time, boys. We are within 10 laps of the end of this race. We are working lap number 41 right now, and Mewborn once again files them off into turn number 1, Zachary.
Let's hold on to it, fellas. Let's end this race under the green flag. It's not NASCAR, baby. Let's roll down into 3 and 4 on the restart. Colby Mewborn out front with the lead. It is not Connor, it is Colby. As Colby, you're right now with the race lead, the 19-year-old racer in college now, folks, looking to be a wildlife and fisheries.
Look at the
crazy
run
back there. It's
look
unbelievable.
At the run on the top side, man. It is absolutely insane. You got 3 and 4 wide into turn number 3. Rodney, I'm looking. Oh, and we're yellow again. We are yellow one more time.
And guys, I was just about. Where did Cale Westover come from? We put him out to pasture a few laps ago, and there he is, right there, into the top 10, damn near.
From nowhere, he's sitting in the 10th spot right now. Looks like the hard charger is going to be your leader after the green flag. If we can figure out what's happening here, I'm showing Matthew Day out in front of this field. We're going to let. That's what I'm showing on the timing.
Yeah, Matthew Day is what I've got.
We're gonna let KT get it sorted out on the backside. I think it's because Day's down parked on the bottom, so we're gonna get him to the back of the pack. Okay, so that wasn't correct. It is still Mewborn out in front.
Mewborn, okay.
I'm gonna learn today.
Yeah, you and me both, brother.
Whitworth in second, Pennington third, Holt and Frost round out the field. The hard charger that I'm seeing on my screen is Danny Rogers, your 10th place car, started 23rd on the green, 23rd on the field, right now sitting inside the top 10. That's 13 spots. There is a hard charger award from Dixon Motorsports for $20. So right now, with 45 laps complete, we're going to go single file restart here. This will be the last restart, guys. I can guarantee you that.
Give us 5 good ones.
If we go yellow again, it will finish under yellow. I know that KT and everybody trying to get them squared away on the backside, but if we go yellow one more time, unfortunately, I can guarantee you we will finish under yellow. So the 36 of Colby Mewborn out in front. Whitworth in second, Pennington, Holt, and Frost round out the top 5. Topper Dugas, Trey Smitherman, Cale Westover up to 8th. Rodney from 16th.
What a run!
Yeah, up to 8th.
What a run!
9th spot, Jacob Lassiter of 10 spots. So Lassiter started 19th, and then of course Danny Rogers 10th from 23rd. Another big mover, Jared Maupin from 20th to 11th, and then your final starter, Justin McNeil Neal started dead last. He's up 11 spots to 13th.
I feel like all the fans in the stands are saying, "Turn the light out!" It's getting back underway. The green is back out. It's going to be a 3-lap mad dash to the checkered flag here. Nick and Rodney will find out who's going to settle the score. We're back underway. Mewborn trying to hold on. Good grief almighty.
Another
caution.
Immediately another caution flag. So unfortunately, gentlemen,
overtime.
I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you. This
now
is,
we need the NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we need the NASCAR.
Yeah. It's funny how you give and take a little bit of that.
Right.
It's like you hate to love it, you love to hate it. So how about the pair of Texarkana area racers? It look like they're going to end up rolling this one off, finishing 1 and 2 here tonight.
I think I see a green white checker on my screen. So I think we may go green white checker.
Yeah, my lap counter went to 51, so
okay,
that'll work. May just do that.
We're gonna go green white checker. I believe that's a new feature that you can throw in here in the iRacing service.
Here's my question, Nick. You've announced a lot of this stuff more than I have. This is the first time I've ever even really seen it. So, I mean, does Taylor Frost, him and Colby, I imagine, are friends in real life. They actually raced door to door in some of the same classes the last several years. I mean, I'm not sure Taylor. He's a good guy. I mean, you roll off in there and sell it a little bit cheap on this restart. Try to get this 275, and it's not like you're going to see him at the racetrack. You can talk it out, but I mean, what are you going to do?
Listen, I absolutely would, and there, I will say, and I've heard it several times from guys who race in real life who move over to the sim. You see a lot of, for lack of a better word, boneheaded moves in iRacing, because what do you got to go fix in the shop tomorrow? Nothing. So if you're not paying for it, you're going to drive it like you stole it, and you will see that a lot. So yes, short answer, Zach, is yes. There is definitely some more aggressive driving in sim racing than we see on the track on a Friday or Saturday.
And I do want to make a correction on that. I think I mentioned it was Frost several times. My numbers were, see, again, learning process here. I believe it's Whitworth who's actually in the bridesmaids honors right now on the 69 machine.
Yes, that is Whitworth there. It's going to show up as 69 on the racetrack. It's a 30. And there's a whole bunch of stuff happening here, guys. But we are going green white checker here for $275 for the winner, and it's going to be Mewborn who heads him off into turn number one more time.
Followed by Whitworth, Pennington, Justin Holt, Frost. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Zach.
So we're about to wrap it up here, folks. Lap number 52 of 53 as we roll off of 2 down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 on the restart. Justin Holt trying to give Heck and pick up a couple more spots here and get what he can get and go home with a smile on his face. As rolling off of 4 to the checkered flag, this next time by the driver out of Texarkana, third-generation racer, the driver of the Central Heating and Air, number 13 from Texarkana, Texas, Colby Mewborn, going to win tonight's Cooped Up 50, presented by RaceOnTexas.com on LSRTV.
What a run.
Pennington, Holt, and Frost round out the top 5. Exactly, Nick. What a run for these guys.
Hey, we've got a tie here for the hard charger, guys. Danny Rogers finished in 10th from 23rd. Justin McNeil finished 11th from 24th. Both of those drivers up, 13 positions. We'll see real quick if we can get a word here with Colby Mewborn. I'll hop up to, I don't know if we've got everybody in TeamSpeak or what, so we'll see if we can get a word in. I'll get with Charles and check real quick.
Absolutely. And Zach, I mean, what can you say about this? I mean, we sat here and we watched this. We did not lack intensity. We did not lack action. It was all right there. The only thing that we lacked was being at the racetrack. We saw everything that you would see at the racetrack on a Saturday night here with dirt track racing.
Absolutely. And, a lot of these guys, like we said, they race real cars in real life. And that's, obviously able to just kind of scratch their itch anyway for their love for this sport. It is pretty awesome. And until you actually get behind one, of course, if you liked what you saw tonight watching live on Race on Texas or the LSRTV page, and you're like, hey, I wonder what that would be like. You can go to iRacing.com and get yourself set up. And you don't necessarily need the $5,000 simulator, but you can get into this stuff and have a lot of fun with it. And heck, I have a lot of fun, Rodney, just making laps by myself, just racing the race car and racing the racetrack. So certainly as real as it gets. Again, Colby Mewborn going to take the dub tonight over Corey Whitworth, Coy Pennington, Justin Holt, Taylor Frost, your top 5 here, Rodney.
Absolutely. And as you said right right there, Zach Clark, iRacing.com. Jump on that, take a look at it. It's a pretty painless setup. I mean, get up there. I mean, allocate yourself a little bit of time to get everything set up. But that is the thing. You see guys that are ultra successful at this, and they don't have that massive setup. They're doing it on a desk like we're sitting at here tonight. So there's a plan for everyone to do this with iRacing.
Absolutely, and shout out to the guys, Cody Woot and all those at LSRTV. If you love real life dirt track racing, you can always check us out. Our on-demand content is always a flow. Cover a lot of great race tracks all over the Arklatex, the great state of Texas, Louisiana, and beyond on RaceOnTexas.com, the official internet provider of the Arklatex and beyond. And we hope you enjoyed what you saw tonight, and we hope to bring you more of the sim racing throughout the coming years.
Yeah, absolutely. Let those folks there with LSRTV and Race on Texas, let them know how much you enjoyed this tonight. Otherwise, what are you doing? I mean, watching a movie and all of that's fine, but you actually got a little bit of Saturday night dirt track racing. That's a pretty damn good thing to do. Let those folks know how much you enjoyed it. Hopefully, we'll get more of these put together for you.
Absolutely. Look to brush up and... I'll know what to expect a little bit more next time as well, Rodney. It's always a pleasure to talk
you
with
and me.
Yep, it's been a little while. It's been several years since we've been on a mic together, but always enjoy it. My friend Nick Robbins, I'm not sure if he grabbed the 13 at Mewborn, but maybe we can grab a word with him as we get ready to wrap this one up here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Did not lack any excitement. We saw all the heat races into the alphabet soup, and then this tremendous main event looked like it was going to be Johnny Torres. Johnny Torres setting a really, really nice pace there as they were going on, but it's Mewborn that wins. He'll take that $275. Not a bad night at the office or at the house.
Well, gentlemen, real quick, I've got our runner-up this evening, Mr. Corey Whitworth, pulling home $175. Corey, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, congratulations. First off, I'm going to let Zach and Rodney ask you a couple of questions here. I've done this iRacing thing a few times. Rodney, what you got? Hit him with one.
Corey, this was my first venture with this, Zach as well. But walk us through that, man. How intense is it running in that pack? You're sitting there, you're in a sim, but describe what it feels like.
Well, I run VR, so it's as close to the real thing as you can get, I would say. Yeah, but most of that race was just, I don't know, a lot of yellows. I wish the yellows wouldn't have been there. I felt like we had a good long green flag car, but for the most part, it was all right. But they're talking in the server. I can't hardly hear. I can't talk. But anyway, no, it's very nerve-wracking. You get in those packs like that on a slick track when you don't have a wall to catch yourself on or lean on or anything. It's just kind of nerve-wracking. Don't know what the guy behind you is going to do, trying to watch the guy in front of you. So it's as close to the real thing as you can get.
Nice.
Corey, you kind of spoke of a little bit of frustration. You think you had a good long, green flag car, but the cautions kind of played you not being able to get going. Did you kind of have that mindset going into tonight, considering there's probably a lot of guys in this event who are kind of new to iRacing? Did we think about that coming into it? Still came on with a solid performance, but nonetheless, it had to be a little frustrating, like you said.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating when you couldn't get 15 laps or so. When I felt like I needed about 5 good laps to get by the leader there, but I'm not going to move somebody out of the way. He raced me just as clean as he could, so I'm not going to do any of that. But yeah, a lot of new guys in here that I haven't really raced with a lot. It's cool to see these real world guys step over into this a little bit. And one name that really stuck out to me was Johnny Torres. I haven't seen him on the service until tonight, and shoot, he was whooping us until he had his internet go bad.
Yeah. Real quick, Corey, I wanna get in one here. Talk a little bit about the different problems that we run into on the service. You mentioned your internet dropping. I've seen that happen several times. A lot of these guys live in kind of a rural area. Internet service is spotty. You get net code sometimes. What are the other kind of frustrations of virtual racing that some of the real world guys may not know about?
Oh man, anything can happen. You can have your pedals disconnect, your wheel could disconnect or get out of center. Computer could lag out. You never know when that could happen. It could just shut off. Internet problems are a huge concern with a lot of people. Luckily, I live in a town where I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, like the guys that live kind of out in the country area, they struggle with that from time to time.
Sounds like a broadcast setup.
Yeah. I'd much rather my throttle stick on iRacing rather than the real thing.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, Corey. So what kind of, if I can, right quick. So what kind of setup are you on?
I use a Fanatec CSL Elite kit. I just got the basic 2-pedal kit. A lot of people run the Fanatec V3s, which that's what I'm hopefully going to upgrade to before long. But other than that,
Nice.
just a good PC, and I got a Oculus Rift S VR headset.
How long have you been doing it, Corey?
I started sim racing back on R Factor. I'd probably say right at the end of 2015, and I raced that for 2 or 3 years. And then iRacing came on with the dirt stuff, and that's the only thing that I race. I don't race asphalt or anything. But yeah, as soon as iRacing came out with the dirt, we all kind of switched over there, got our computers upgraded to be able to handle it, and been there ever since.
It's awesome.
Appreciate your time tonight, Corey. Pretty solid racer off the racetrack, and the real cars and on here as well, man. Great performance tonight with a solid second place performance and 175 bones going back with you, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Take care.
All right, folks, let me go up to the grab Coy Pennington here real quick, our third place finisher. Coy, this is Nick in the press box. You got a copy, brother?
Yes, sir.
Third place tonight, Coy, out of well over 50 race cars, $140 coming to you. How do you feel about the third place tonight?
Well, I'm pretty excited I could finish third. I was just hoping anything top 10, top 5 at that point. And it was fun. It would have been interesting to see what it looked like if caution laps didn't count, because I can't remember his name, but whoever finished behind me, he was coming fast. I don't know if I would have been able to hold him off any longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Coy, Rodney Rodriguez here. That race did not lack, or the whole night, the Cooped Up 50 did not lack any intensity. Your thoughts on the night, just in general, with so many cars?
Well, the thing with Lernerville is with how the track is, you can't just send it off in there, especially when the track gets slicked off like this. You can't send it off in there because there's really nothing to hold you like a wall. There's not a wall to hold you. So
Sure.
You have to really elbows up, ease in there, and kind of drive it off. And the two guys that finished in front of me did a hell of a lot better than I did.
Hey, Coy, you race stock cars, correct? I mean, you run the factory stock style cars around Texas, I believe Kennedale and some other tracks. I mean, do you think that gives you a little bit of an advantage on this? I mean, versus some guys who may not run the stock cars?
I mean, the way I look at it is, if you can drive, you can jump in anything, elbows up, and go run the heck out of it. So I wouldn't say it gives me an advantage. It helps to know how to drive in general, but it's just I look at it like you just got to get in and drive.
Yeah, no doubt. And Coy, that's one of the things that we've talked about throughout the night. I mean, this is by all means not a video game. This is racing. The bottom line, this is racing right here.
Oh yeah, it's definitely is racing, but the guys that you can tell who is fast, like racing real cars, hop into something like this and still struggle just because they got to get used to it. So it's no matter what you drive, it comes into seat time, and you can tell us a lot of time in these cars with top 5, top 10 finishing.
Yep.
Rodney, I'm not sure if you've able to make some laps yet, but I like to do it every year as well, just in a real car. Like when my brother started his factory stock course, he'd allow me to drive it. I didn't want to race it. I just wanted to get out there and renew my perspective, just to put in perspective. It's not easy to go out here and just race the car yourself, much less go 2 and 3 and maybe 4 wide. And very similar with this, man. Like we said, it just translates well. You when you do get a chance and you make some laps, you're going to realize how much more impressive it was tonight watching them guys race 2 and 3 wide here on iRacing, because it is not easy, my brother.
Yeah. You guys are tremendous. I mean, it's phenomenal to watch you guys. I don't know how you do this. Definitely need to jump in here at some point.
Were we able to get Colby? Sorry.
Yes, we've got Colby. Coy, thanks so much, man. Once again, congrats on third place tonight. $140 coming to you. Real quick, who do you want to thank on the race car, man?
Oh, dude, this wouldn't be possible without Justin. I mean, he put this whole thing on, and a lot of people contributed to this, and got to thank everyone that contributed, and Justin, because he put this on. But going forward, I ain't got no one to thank, just myself, because I'm here. But I got to thank you guys for as well as making it live, so they got a lot of interest, and here we are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had a bunch of folks watching, and watching you do a great job tonight. Coy Pennington, once again, third place. Congratulations, man.
Great run,
Thank
Coy.
you guys, appreciate it.
And coming up next, folks, I'll get Coy back up here in the lobby. We'll get Colby Mewborn pulled on down in here with us. Let's see, Colby, this is Nick in the press box. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Big old winner tonight, $275 in your pocket, plus a custom wrap from Charlie Tubbs Milner at Milner Media and Designs. You are the winner of the first Cooped Up 50, brought to you by Justin Whitehead, RaceOnTexas.com, and Live Sim Racing TV. Dude, how are you feeling right now?
Man, honestly, I'm pretty dang pumped. I was, I'm not going to lie, that last race start, I was about as nervous as I was on a real race car for a minute.
So Colby, break it down for us. Tell us, one, your setup, your surroundings right now. Are you doing this in a living room? Are you in a? How'd you pull off the win tonight? Where were those surroundings?
Man, I'm in just our regular old computer room at the house. I don't have no fancy like simulator and
love it.
I just got regular steering wheels and pedals and like monitor, and that's about it.
Great question, Rodney, because I think that puts in perspective that you don't need necessarily. Look, we love Chad Wheeler, the WR1. You don't need or necessarily have to have all that stuff. It does certainly help and adds to the realism of it. But boy, hey, if you know anything about Colby Mewburn, though, you know he's a third-generation racer. His dad is very well accomplished, and if I throw this out, his cousin put this race on, 8-time Cajun Classic winner Justin Whitehead. Colby just had to go in there and perform like he does so well around the Arklatex. Colby, did you have confidence coming into this one tonight? I mean, you had to feel pretty good about midway through there, but man, you looked great all night.
Man, it was feeling really good, and I was honestly really halfway confident, but everyone, was like, "You sure you don't want to let your brother race this?" And I'm like, "No, man, I think I got it." And luckily, it ended up in my favor.
I thought it was him the whole time, to be honest. I said it was Connor because I didn't know that you did much iRacing as of late. I thought you'd been pretty busy with school and such, although no one's at school right now. But I had to have Connor send me messages and correct me and say, no, that's Big Brother. So it's pretty cool.
Colby, how much time do you spend in the sim?
This was my first time in the street stocks, and I don't even remember. I usually just run modified, so luckily I just held my line and tried hitting my marks, and luckily it worked out.
What it's all about.
Any big plans on the real racetracks this year when we get back to racing? I know saw you at Boot Hill a couple of weeks ago in the factory stock. Hey, this iRacing stuff has to give you some confidence too when you get back on here in the meantime. But any big plans this year for you, Colby?
And it is. I actually bought my very first race car. Bought a IMCA limited modified. So that's my plan. And then I don't know. I'm just hoping to actually get some wins this year.
Nice.
That's awesome. Brother going to be racing. Dad getting back behind the cockpit any?
They're probably going to go back and forth. Connor will probably take like my spot in the factory stock and kind of race regular nights, and Dad will race like big shows and stuff.
Can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. Colby, got to ask you, I mean, we've been talking about throughout the night how real this is. And to watch this, I would imagine you winning the Cooped Up 50, and like you said, you were nervous at that last restart. This feels like a Saturday night race win.
Oh yeah, it is very realistic, especially for like a simulator game. I mean, you can't just hold it wide open and like on regular games, like on a PlayStation or something. It's like it's all about throttle control. And
love it.
This is about as real as it's going to get, even though it's not real racing.
Sure. Well, like I mentioned 36J, Justin being your cousin, of course. From last year's factory stock 50, Brandon Brown finally wins his first one ever at Arklatex, driving the team car with Justin Whitehead, and then of course down to the Cooped Up 50. I'm not sure if it's just the good ties there, but you had a lot of great racers tonight. Not sure that's any coincidence, but Colby Mewburn gets the victory tonight. Is there anybody in addition you want to thank for this tonight, Colby?
Man, honestly, I want to thank Justin Whitehead for putting this on for us, and KT for helping host it and run it. And I just, I thank y'all for announcing it for us and Race on Texas. Had a blast.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Colby. Hell of a night.
Colby, congrats once again, man. That was a hell of a run, absolutely.
Can't wait to see you at the racetrack, young man, hopefully sooner than later, man. Congratulations on a big one tonight. Good to see you in Victory Lane.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for putting this on.
So tonight's Cooped Up 50 winner, Nick Robbins, Rodney Rodriguez here. Want to make mention, of course, Justin Whitehead did a lot of great things at this event, guys. I'm sure you would concur with me on that. The 7th annual Factory Stock 50, which originated at Timberline Speedway, moved to Arklatex Speedway last year. It's going to move over to Texarkana 67 Speedway this year. Just want to give you the dates on that. The 7th annual Factory Stock 50, August 20th through the 22nd. Go ahead and throw that one on the docket, and imagine you'll see some great things coming up when we get around to that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so many great this event coming together, and like we said, LSRTV Race on Texas, getting this put together, and you guys. I mean, Zach, like you talked about, it's been a pleasure to be back working with you again tonight. And Nick, thanks for jumping in, man. Because you had a couple of guys here that we didn't know right from left there for a little bit. You made it a hell of a lot smoother.
Absolutely, I got guys. If you're wanting to see some more of this stuff soon. Coming up this week, I believe it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. That is the 7th, 8th, and 9th, I believe it is. I'll double check my dates real quick. The 13th annual Schaefer's Oil Spring Fling going to be right here on LSRTV and VLR's Facebook page. It is a $4,000 to win late model iRace. $4,000 just to win. It's a $12,000 purse.
Wow!
Boys.
Can I ask you how is it the 13th? Because iRacing hasn't been around that long. Is this translated over from iRacing or what?
It has translated over. I believe they used to run Dirt Track Racing 2 was the name of it. Remember the old Rat Bag games?
Yes.
I
did.
Yeah.
Big Ant Studios. Yes.
So VLR, KT King and the guys at VLR have been racing together. They've had that league going since I believe it was Dirt Track Racing 2. There was a sequel to the original DTR, and so they've been doing this big sim race for many years. And we're going to have on the final night. So I'm going to get to call the first 2 nights of that show coming up this week. And then on the final night, you're going to have Tommy Rowe Jr., who is the announcer at my home track back from Arkansas at Riverside International Speedway. He's been with VLR for years. And then, of course, Ben Shelton going to be on the call for the $4,000 to win Spring Fling coming up on LSRTV and VLR's Facebook page. You're going to want to tune into that. It's absolutely free to watch. You don't have to pay anything. You can watch it on any sort of device that streams from Facebook. You're going to want to watch it. I believe there's over 160 drivers entered. Yeah, it's going to be over 3 days. 160 plus guys entered in, going for $4,000 to win. It's either a $12,000 or $13,000 purse. I'll get my numbers right, get that squared away. But we got big racing coming up. It's not going to be ideal like we wanted, obviously, but it's going to be the next best thing. It's going to be more of what you saw tonight. Absolutely wheel to wheel, door to door, guys beating and banging off one another for 4,000 real dollars. The dollars are not virtual. That is 4,000 real American dollars going to the winner of the Spring Fling.
Man, that is awesome.
I do imagine we're getting ready to wrap this one up here in just a matter of a moment, fellas. Wasn't sure who was going to take the reins on that, Nick. I just wanted to...
Real quick, before we go, I want to ask each of you, it's your first time. What do you think? Rodney, you're up first, man. Just give me some final thoughts.
Oh, man, I'm hooked. You know, I've seen the stuff on network TV, and we actually had Ryan Luja, who does this extremely well. Had him on the radio show a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about just the ins and outs of it, and actually be a part of it, and to see it happen, to see it transpire, to see the intensity is the word that I keep going back to throughout the night, to see everything that's on the line here with these guys, and just tremendous. And this is a great step for racing. I mean, I really think whether dirt, asphalt, whatever, road course, I mean, this is a big deal. This is going to change our sport with the notoriety that iRacing is bringing right now in our downtime.
Zach, same question to you, man. Where you at?
Man, you know, a couple years ago, I dabbled in it. You know, Scott had given me his old Thrustmaster steering wheel and pedals to get into this a couple years ago. Ended up not really getting into it at the time. It is something that interests me. I love racing. You know, I love announcing racing, and this is the next best thing to it, man. I've been missing being in the booth this year. I've only announced, you know, this time of year, I think I've announced probably 15 or 16 races, and this juncture, I think I've announced 3 or 4 this year. So yeah, and that's including the two night events. So you know, and you know me, man. I've been itching like. I have to have it. Like, you know, it fulfills me to announce racing because I love it. You know, I love it. I love the smell of it. I love everything about it. So I don't get all those elements, but I will say that, you know, getting the, you know, calling Colby Mewburn tonight is the winner. I mean, he's a guy I watch race pretty frequently throughout the year. So to be able to see him win tonight, it kind of makes you feel a little bit close to home and like you're kind of at the racetrack, like Rodney said. It is very cool, pretty realistic, man. And I couldn't be any less than impressed. I mean, I'm excited about the future and doing a little bit more. And and certainly gaining and learning as a broadcaster of this stuff, because it is a whole different ballgame, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was lost like a goose in a snowstorm there for a while.
And me
still
both,
am.
my brother. You and me both.
Yeah, I had
Well, guys,
no idea.
once again, it has been an absolute honor, pleasure, thrill to share a booth with you, be it virtual. It's just been fun. I've enjoyed having both of you here.
I want to mention though, just one thing real quick. I know we're live on the air, but it is, we mentioned me and Rodney being strapped in, but Nick Robbins was also a part of that, correct? I mean, we've all three did that podcast. We're talking 7 years ago. I mean, just for what it's worth,
It was a long time
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Nick and I, we broadcasted tons of races, man. But it is cool, like you said, being in a different, in a different kind of booth, anyway. So
absolutely,
always a pleasure, like you said.
Yep.
Well,
no
folks,
doubt.
On behalf of Live Sim Racing TV, RaceOnTexas.com, I want to give a huge shout out, of course. We can't forget KT King. He made this all work. We just got to talk about it. He and Charles Wooten just made this thing work together. The broadcast went well. Anything and everything can happen. Those two are prepared. They're some of the best in the business for sure. Big shout out to those guys for sure for helping us out. I want to thank everybody for being present, for watching, for hanging out with us for a couple hours. I hope that we just brought you a little bit of joy, and I hope you come back and see us the next time. And on behalf of everybody, I'm Nick Robbins. I got Rodney Rodriguez and Zach Clark here with me, and we are signing off. Good night, everybody.
Take care, friends.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSRTV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSRTV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.